It's great to be here today. My name is Gary Fowler, and I'm the CEO, president, and founder of GSD Get You Done Venture Studios. Today, I've got one of our cohort companies, Meahana, and we're going to talk to Matt and Adam about their experiences with GSD. So good to see you guys here. It's good to see you every day. But tell us a little bit about what is Meahana and what is Meahana trying to accomplish?
So Matt and I came from the consulting world where we would run strategic workshops and meetings. We would often get paid a lot of money to be flown in to run the meetings where, it was a go, no go decision. People had to get aligned around where they're trying to get to. What we realized in those meetings and workshops was there was always kind of a series of proven methods or templates or methodologies that we would kind of work through. And what we wanted to do is put that into software. And the reason for that is that if you think about meetings, they're kind of the holy grail of where meeting intelligence or data really kind of comes together. And today meetings are really unstructured. They're on post-it notes. They're kind of just an unproductive wasteland. We realized that there's like $37 billion worth of unproductive time in the US alone that's spent in meetings. And so we're really on a mission to try to figure out how do we sort of optimize meetings? How do we give people the tools and the confidence to be able to run a really effective meeting? And how do we extract the meaningful intelligence from some of those conversations that maybe is a little bit lost today?
No, that's great. So, Matt, in what ways has GSD Superscaler helped Meahana?
Yeah, Gary, it's a interesting question because, we thought we knew everything about meetings. We thought we had kind of the market cornered on how to do it in a non-traditional way. And what I mean by that is we're not an AI note taker. We're not a visual collaboration tool. We structure meetings and help people get from idea to decision faster. But what we lacked was the know-how when it comes to AI, right? And how do we actually use AI not as just an API call and do some very basic stuff, but it was just to think holistically about, what's possible, right? What is really possible with, I've got 15, 20 very focused people in a meeting. How can we use AI to really extract the intelligence of that group in such a way that it feels seamless, it feels not intrusive, but more importantly, it drives the outcome that the meeting host is trying to get to. And GSD has helped us think more holistically about what's possible, not just with AI, but really in the meeting space, and things that we just hadn't considered previously.
So, when you go down through and imagine those possibilities, how differently do you think now from the time that you started GSD?
I mean, it's like I want to say we're not an AI company. We are a meeting platform. We are driving meeting outcomes, but just the really what is possible. I mean, just thinking about how can we combine the spoken word with visuals, with contributed ideas via mobile device. How do we get all of that? We hadn't thought about that, and it's been refreshing and exciting. And we know that the future is so much brighter with the discussions that we've had with GSD.
No, that's great. Adam, did how did GSD really provide guidance in terms of the product or service? And what did you feel about the mentors and advisors and some of the guidance you've gotten from people like Jacques, right? And Ron, how does it feel?
I would say it's been a little bit of a bold realignment in terms of how smart we feel like we need to be in conversations compared to how much of a storytelling capacity we need to kind of re-engineer our minds to figure out. Not all of the investors that we're going to pitch to, and frankly, not all the vendor partners that we're going to talk to come from the consulting space that we do. So a little bit of a kind of a realignment and more of a reimagining in terms of the opportunity space that we're trying to holistically think about with respect to meetings and the opportunity from an overall meeting intelligence perspective. I would say, the enchantment of words and trying to figure out how do we just, in a very succinct way, get people excited about what we're trying to get to in a way that makes sense to the layman, right? And to the everyman. And so that's been really interesting. Also from a GST perspective, there's a community aspect, right? So there's other companies that are in this cohort that are not doing anything that we're doing. But we need to convince them that this is important as well. And so that's also been interesting.
Well, the future is bright, and taking care of the infobesity that's out there is a challenge for a lot of companies. And having an intelligent way. And the other thing is, not a lot of people understand that the tools are out there to be able to help us. They don't know what they don't know. And so having access to those people that are right on the cutting edge so you can guide your future is important. You know, what advice would you have to startups that are coming into GSD Superscaler so they can maximize their experience, or what would you tell them? So let's just say they've had a conversation with us.
Yeah.
What would you tell them, Matt?
Sure. I'd probably first start with, it's hard to believe that there are other people that have actually gone through the same thing that you're going through as a founder. Because we all think that we're unique, we all think that we're different, we all think that we see the world differently, and the skies are going to open up the moment the world knows about what we're doing. The reality is you have to find people who have been there, who have done it, that can push you to think differently, but will also kind of harness the goodness of who you are. And I think that was it took us a while to get there. If I'm going to be very, like, it took us some time to work through all of those emotions, because there are so many people that claim to be experts, that have done all of these wonderful things. And more often than not, they're not experts at going from 0 to 1. They're experts at going from 1 to 10 or 10 to 100. And when we connected with GSD, there was a, not skepticism, but it was a little bit of a, let's feel this process out. But as we've gone through this, it's been it's felt like we've had a little guardian angel sitting on our shoulder, kind of helping us, and showing us a pathway forward, which is really, really helpful. And again, anyone who's going into this, look, be skeptical, but also be open to trusting and listening to something new, because this group they've done some magical things, and they're helping us kind of realize our real vision for our company.
Well, I love it. Magic and enchantment. My own words. I just love it. So looking back, has your participation in GSD helped you shape your long-term strategy?
I mean, for us personally, Gary, obviously access to the mentors have helped critique some of the pathways that we had, not just from a market viability, but would investors buy into this strategy? How would you articulate that? How do you dumb it down for the everyman to consider? And then obviously GSD isn't just the cohort, right? Which we've learned. You have an extensive ecosystem of partners. We've engaged with you from an AI development perspective with some individuals that are now part of our team, right? Part of our product development process, helping us to reshape the future, helping us to rethink what's possible from AI, but also executing on that. And so that's maybe one of the unintended, unexpected benefits that we had going into this. We thought we were just getting ready for to be pitch ready, but to be pitch ready means you have to have the right story, and sometimes that means you have to bring in new partners to be able to help you get there.
No, you're right. And the other thing is we have our PR company, GSD Reach, which there's a hyper engine to help those companies get out. And we see the results of that too. So it's all about a 360-degree view. But the one thing is sometimes people have to put their toe in the water first before they go in and start to swim, right? And that's it. Well, listen, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules today to give us some of your insight on GSD. Get Shit Done Venture Studios. My name is Gary Fowler, and I am the founder and CEO of the company. We believe dreams come true, but it's not just about dreaming, it's about doing it. Hello, everyone. This is Gary Fowler, CEO, president, and founder of GSD Venture Studios. We help game-changing startups super scale from local to global. GSD's 15-week Super Scaler program is designed to propel startups to new heights by leveraging GSD's expertise and resources. Super scale your startup with GSD, and let's go global together. Apply now.